She says, "Hi Megan, I travel for work almost every week and therefore are almost always eating out. I have done better with my choices, yet it is still really tough. Do you have any tips for travel and eating out, or what not to feel so bad about eating versus what to avoid at all costs? Thanks." So Casey, I don't know if you know this, but I used to travel before I did the Lion's Share. I traveled as a consultant. I say 48 weeks a year. It was probably more like 45 or something like that, but it was a lot, Monday through Thursday, every single week. And so I definitely feel your pain. I know how hard it is to eat healthily on the road, but I also know that it's possible. I survived. I was still healthy on the road. I still learned how to make myself feel great. A couple things helped me. Number one, hydrate. It is said very often, but if you're not actually living it, it's worth hearing again. So bring a reusable bottle with you when you travel. If you bring it, you're much more likely to fill it up as much as possible. And when your body is hydrated, you have fewer food cravings. You're going to not go into dinner feeling so ravenous that you're going to inhale anything. And your blood sugar is going to be more stable. Your digestion will be better. I could go on and on and on. So hydrate. Number two is what I call the BDD rule. This stands for bread, drink, and dessert. Now, when you're at a restaurant, it's normal to have a bread basket and a fried appetizer and a pasta and a drink and a dessert and blah, 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 blah. All this stuff that we don't have at home. And that's one of the reasons that eating at restaurants is less healthy than eating at home. So with the bread, drink, dessert, or BDD rule, I encourage you to just choose one of those every single night. On a special occasion, you can choose two, and it has to be like a birthday or an anniversary or something to choose all three. So let's talk about what's in each category. B in BDD stands for bread, and bread includes the bread basket or bread on a sandwich or pasta or anything breaded. Each one of those is 1 point towards your BDD. D for drink includes alcohol, soda, sweetened coffee, juice, things like that. Anything that's basically not water or black tea or coffee. And D for dessert, it's kind of obvious, just dessert. So on a normal night, even if it's like a team dinner with your team or whatever, try to choose just one. If you're going to have a glass of wine, then stay away from that bread basket and try to order something for dinner that doesn't have bread in it. Thinking this just gets you in the mentality of being conscious of your decisions. It's not anything that you probably don't already know, but how many times have you sat down and mindlessly munched on that bread basket because you're so hungry and you didn't even think about it? That's what we're trying to avoid with the BDD rule. We're trying to be intentional about our choices. So if you hydrate and you follow the BDD rule, there's only one extra thing to think about. Actually, there are like a million extra things to think about, but for the sake of simplicity on the video, I'm going to name only one more thing, which is try to get in as much healthy food as possible. For me, when I was traveling, I used to go to the grocery store every single Monday. And yes, this was a pain and whatever, but I just did it. I wanted to have vegetables for myself to snack on every single afternoon, which I think is a really important way to get extra energy and extra nutrients. I also wanted to load up on healthy breakfasts, so whether that was plain oatmeal that I grabbed, or some hard-boiled eggs, or some fruit, or some plain yogurt, or whatever, I wanted to have those options available for me, so I tried to get a hotel with a refrigerator if possible. And then I also wanted to have healthy snacks on me as much as possible. So packets of individual servings of nuts or greens powder I would travel with, things like this. And I'll post a few links on the bottom. I'm going to make myself a note to do that. I'll post a few links of foods that I used to travel with, but having enough healthy stuff there helps you avoid the temptation of less healthy stuff when you're traveling. If you're running through the airport and you haven't had water, you haven't had a good breakfast, and Burger King is calling your name, you might give in to temptation. But if you've had a good breakfast, had plenty of water, and you have a packet of nuts and some fruit in your bag, it's a lot more likely that you're going to be able to resist that temptation. So Casey, think about water, think about the BDD rule, and think about having plenty of healthy snacks.